Good morning, everyone. We will now begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama to protect and bless us as we participate today in the construction of paradise on earth. Amatsu-Norito and Miroku Prayer, please stand. 高天原にかずまります。かぶらぎかぶらみのみこともちて、そめみおやかむいざなぎのみことつくしのぎむかの立ち花のおどのあわぎはらにみそぎはらいたもうときになりませる。あらいどのおかみたちもろもろのまがごとつみけがれをあらいたまい清めたまえとがおすことのよしおあまつかみくにつかみやおよろずの神たちともに雨の口こまの耳くり立ててきこしめせとかしこみもまおす弥勒大神守りたまえ先あえたまえ弥勒大神守りたまえ先あえたまえ教えみよや主の神守りたまえ先あえたまえ教えみよや主の神守りたまえ先あえたまえかんながらたまちあえませ。かんながらたまちあえませ。Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan. Please be seated. We will now receive group Johrei. Johrei is now concluded. We will now listen to a reading from Meishu-sama's teachings. In service to humanity, strive to become the kind of person who wishes for the happiness of others always, because God loves such a person best. When our minds are cleansed and we are free from selfishness and pray for the welfare of others, we are in harmony with God. Serene is my mind, cheerful is my heart, when I am working for the welfare of others, for the good of all humanity. God's immutable laws governs all processes, including the thoughts and actions of each human being. When our thoughts and actions are creative, beneficial, in harmony with the laws of our being and of the cosmos, they further the evolutionary plan, then we are happy and we prosper. But when we act counter to the laws, we become of little value to ourselves and to God, since God's laws are absolute. When our mental attitude is not in accord with them, we suffer and little can be done for us. I believe we serve God most by serving the life stream of humanity. We must help as many people as possible to become aware of the divine plan and of the light being released for the daylight age. We must pray for the good of all. To pray only for our own welfare indicates self-centeredness. But we won't need to be concerned about our own salvation once we become effective instruments in the advancement of the cosmic plan.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters. I would like to share with you an experience from Dominga João José Ngunza. She's from the Simeone Johrei group in Luanda, Angola. Dominguez is a member and gives services as a group assistant. The experience of faith that she's sharing with us is related to the practice of tithing and donations to the construction fund. Since 2019, her husband was away from the church because of some purifications. Distressed by this situation, seeing his condition and knowing that he was a person fervent in his faith, she tried to talk to him, but he did not want to listen. That's how she decided to go to her minister and report what was going on, because she started to have purifications both within her family, such as his salary being late, which caused her allowance to decrease a lot. She was guided to materialize the tithe of her allowance, since he no longer did it. It was difficult for her to materialize the donation, because the money was already too little for spending at home. In the second month since receiving the guidance, she failed to put into practice. Once again, she went to her minister. They went to pray at the altar and to ask for forgiveness. Then she renewed her commitment to continue with this practice. In the fifth month, he called her to talk, reflect on what was going on, started with the reasons for staying away from the church, and they also talked about our basic practice of faith. He promised to attend monthly and Wednesday services at their headquarters as a starting point, and he has been able to do so. In May of this year, her allowance doubled to what was given to her before. he started making daily donations. She reported his change to the minister, who told her to also start making the construction fund donation, in addition to tithing, giving 10% of her earnings. In the month of June, after 10 months of practice, the day finally arrived when her husband, sending her allowance, instructed her to tithe, give 10%, and to donate towards the construction fund. She was very happy to hear it and expressed her gratitude with a donation. As a result of this practice, she was able to experience the following changes. Her fourth daughter was formally introduced to her fiancé's family, and after 2 months, they went to live together. Domingas overcame a purification of fevers and urinary tract infections. Her husband has been more concerned with the well-being of the family. She gained conviction that making donations awakens one's descendants to fulfill their missions. Domingas learned that when we should comply with the guidance received with the spirit of listening to God's voice. Her commitment is to continue serving God, be humble in her dedications, and participate as an instrument in the divine plan. Domingas is very thankful to God, Messiah Meishu-sama, and her ancestors for this great permission to be part on this work of salvation. That was from Domingas of Luanda, Angola. And another experience I would like to share with you today is from Ana Paula Santos. She is from Bahia, Brazil. Ana Paula is a state university professor. And although she has a steady job and a fixed salary, she had been facing constant financial fluctuations with the emergence of unexpected debts. This picture of financial purification was reflected at home in the form of conflicts with her husband. Concurrently, in February 2020, she found out that she had severe anemia with very low hemoglobin levels. She reported these purifications to her minister, who instructed her to practice Johrei intensively and to consume foods produced without pesticides. She lives in a city about 60 miles away from the Johrei Center. Before the pandemic, she dedicated weekly, but with the arrival of the quarantine, she intensified our practice of faith at home and received an average of 1 hour of Johrei a day from her husband. At the same time, she prioritized products cultivated using our nature farming method and from other organic sources. In April 2020, when filling out the online donation form, she reflected that she could be more committed to this practice and felt the desire to increase the amount she offered monthly. A few days later, she received a cash gift from a family member that allowed her to pay off a loan that consumed a large part of her income. In the same period, she started to receive an additional amount due to a promotion at work, which she had no hope of taking place considering the pandemic and an economic crisis. Thus, her financial situation balanced out, and she was even able to have her house painted, which she had been waiting for 5 years. The hemoglobin levels were progressively rising, and today her health situation is under control. As she continued our practice of faith at home, her relationship with her husband improved day by day, and their relationship became harmonious again. Through this experience, she could see the importance of always keeping the flame of gratitude burning in our lives, and how much the practice of Johrei and healthy eating can contribute to the restoration of our health. Ana Paula is very thankful to God, Meishu-sama, and her ancestors for the protection she received And her commitment is to continue to engage in the basic practice of faith, seeking to bring light to others and contribute towards the expansion of the divine work. Was the experience of Ana Paula from Bahia, Brazil. This coming Sunday will be our annual ancestor service at 11 a.m., one of the most important services of the year. We've been suggesting that you write the names of your family lines and individual soul spirits that have made that transition. Make the list. We will be receiving a form sent by us, so you can fill out this form. Then we will place that form on our altar for that service. So do your very best to make that preparation. It is an important invitation we do for our ancestors. We don't want to have not a single one left out. It's important that they are invited in order that they can participate in this service to receive light, and they will be able to fulfill their missions more effectively. So looking forward to have your presence in person if you live locally or virtually. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
This brings to a conclusion of our morning service. Thank you everyone for joining us and have a blessed day.